Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. So today I'm going to go through the 20 worst AFL games I've ever been to. Now they are all Carlton games because I have only gone to Carlton games. So without further ado, let's get it underway. So first up on my list at number 20, way back in 2014, 10 years ago, was against the Cats in round 12, where we lost by 5 points. Now I don't fondly remember too much about this game, but I do remember Selwood kicked the match winner with 1 minute to go, and it was the first time I felt generally upset after a loss. At 19, I have a pre-season game, the NAB Challenge in 2016 at Icon Park, where we got absolutely hammered by the Bombers. We were late to the game, getting there by half-time. For some reason, couldn't find a car park, and we couldn't find our bloody seats either. At 18, I have round 16, 2022 against the Saints. Now, overall, this wasn't a terrible loss. We only lost by 15 points. But the worst thing was we had the most irritating man behind us. He wouldn't shut up for the entire game. Seriously, he called ball for every tackle. At 17, I have round 5, 2021 against the Power. Now, coming into this game, we were actually favourites, and I was hoping to get a good win against a good side, Port Adelaide. But that didn't happen. Wasn't a great contest. Port Adelaide started brilliantly. We started terribly. And we sat behind the Port Adelaide cheer squad. It was terrible. At 16, I have round 18, 2018 against Hawthorn. Now, 2018 wasn't a terrific year for Carlton, only managing to win 2 games for the whole year. And this wasn't a great loss either. Hawthorn kicked the first 10 goals of the match before we even kicked our first, which was in the third quarter. And I went with 3 other Hawthorn supporters, and you can guess that was not fun. At 15, I have round 5, 2024 against Adelaide. Now, we were looking for our 5th straight win to start the season. And with an 18-point lead with 5 minutes remaining, that looked possible. But Isaac Rankin and Sam Berry, they stood in the way. With a goal to Rankin, started to look a bit nerve-wracking. Then with 1 minute left, Sam Berry kicked the winner for the Crows. At 14, I have round 5, 2015 against the Pies. Now, this is the first Carlton-Collingwood game I remember going to, and it wasn't great. I remember sitting in the Collingwood members area, and I wanted to move because I burst into tears because I thought the Collingwood supporters were horrible. And my mum was kind of pissed off with me because they were pretty expensive seats. At 13, I have round 18, 2024 against the Doggies. Now, this was pretty disappointing as it was Cripper's 200th, and for someone who's done so much for the club, a win would have been so great for him. We couldn't even do that. I remember I wasn't that well during the game, and getting a taxi was a disaster. Got stuck in the cold rain, and it was it was a terrible night. At 12, I also have another game against the Doggies, this time round 9, 2023. Now, this game was during our low light of 2023 when we lost those 6 games in a row. Now, we started terrible in this game. Let the Bulldogs, I think, kick the first 5 or 6 goals of the game. Ended up charging home almost. Hit the lead in the 4th quarter. Just couldn't complete it. Let the Bulldogs kick the last 4 goals of the game. They won by 20 points. And I just felt deflated after this game. After the week before, team got booed off the field. It was horrible. And I thought a great response was going to happen. It almost happened, but it wasn't to be. At 11, I have round 10, 2023 against the Pies. Coming a week later from that Bulldogs game, I thought, come on, we can have a response here. And that did not happen again. The Pies kicked clear in the first quarter, kicking 5 goals to our 1. And the way they were playing, the quality of football, I was sitting there in the MCC thinking to myself, we ain't going to win this. At 10, I have round 13, 2023 against the Bombers. Look, the first half was great. We led. The third quarter, oh my God, the Bombers went absolutely ballistic. The last quarter, I felt dead inside. It was a horrible feeling. I just felt like, is my club ever going to be good? Are they going to be rubbish forever? At 9, I have round 8, 2023 against the Brisbane Lions. Now, the week prior, we beat West Coast by 108 points. So you would expect we should have been a bit of a threat to the Brisbane Lions. But of course, that didn't happen. We lost comfortably and the Lions ran over us. And sadly, this was the game that the Carlton boys were booed off the ground. I wasn't involved in this because I would never ever do that to my own players. But sadly, every club has horrible supporters and Carlton just has a lot of them. At 8, I have round 14, 2022 against the Tigers. Round 1, the first game against the Tigers, was magnificent. This game, on the other hand, wasn't so great. I remember I was sitting up in the nosebleeds, level 4. It was a horrible, cold, rainy night. It was slippery, it was wet. I think it hailed at one stage. The Tigers kicked the first 5 goals of the game. We didn't score until the second quarter. With 2 goals to Harry Mackay in the fourth quarter, maybe something could change. A goal to Nunes looked like we could pinch this win from the Tigers. But a score review would change that, and everything went downhill from there. At number 7, I have round 7, 2019, against North Melbourne. Now, this game had a disastrous first half. We kicked 1 goal to North Melbourne's 10. And I can vividly remember Ben Brown had a frickin' day out. At 6, I have round 23, 2019 against Geelong. Now, GMHBA Stadium, my first experience there was terrible. The weather was horrendous. It was rainy, it was cold, and getting smashed by Geelong in the cold, it wasn't fun. And my God, the Geelong supporters, they are weird. At 5, I have a recent one, round 24, 2024 against the Saints. With our season hanging on by a thread, to not rely on another team to win, we had to win this game to make the 8. And of course, I had a feeling something like this would happen. 30 seconds left. Jack Higgins, out of all people, kicked a ridiculous goal over his head to give St Kilda a 2-point win with 12 seconds left. Sitting level 1 on the wing, this goal happened right in front of my eyes. I was gutted. Gutted that another season that was meant to be was probably flushed down the toilet. And probably the worst part, sitting next to me was my uncle, who was a St Kilda supporter, with a massive smirk on his face. At number 4, I have round 22, 2022. Now, this clash was heartbreaking. Now, 1 minute, leading by 2 goals, we were locked in for finals. And you would think leading by 2 goals with a minute would be enough. But no, typical Carlton would cough that lead up. Melbourne stood in the way. They kicked 2 quick goals, one to Cozzy Pickett with 18 seconds left, and the game was over. At 3, I have round 22, 2024 against Hawthorn. Now, this game was hard to sit through. Again, I was sitting with 3 Hawthorn supporters. My annoying brother was sitting next to me in my ear all game. He would not leave me alone. Those Hawthorn supporters, oh my God, they are painful. And I like to myself, Hawthorn have had their time. They've been rubbish for 2 years and now they're back. And we're still rubbish. At number 2, I have round 17, 2015 against Hawthorn. The only 100-point loss I've been to, it was against the Hawks in 2015, where we lost by a demoralising 138 points. Only managing to score 4 goals for the entire game, 2 before three-quarter time. The Hawks actually scored 20 goals before three-quarter time. They scored 27 goals for the entire game. Now, going with 3 other Hawthorn supporters, I couldn't leave. I had to stay because those Hawthorn supporters were enjoying this smashing. And they were enjoying this year. They were enjoying 2015. I wasn't. We won the wooden spoon. They won the premiership. At number 1, the easiest pick, round 23, 2022, against Collingwood. This was a do-or-die clash against our arch-enemy. We win, we're in the 8. We're playing finals for the first time in a decade. Before this game, I didn't mind the Pies. But after this game, the hatred grew big. Sitting in the MCC, level 4, three-quarter time, we're leading by 24 points. And finals is awaiting us. But I thought to myself, last week we coughed up 2 goals in 1 minute. Surely we can cough up 5 goals in a quarter. And what happened? That exactly happened. We coughed up 5 goals in a quarter. Jamie Elliott, he kicked the winner for the Pies. They kicked us out of the finals. They made the top 4. Now the worst thing about this, we were in the top 8 every round, except for round 23, when the Pies kicked us out. And when the final siren went, well, I couldn't control myself. I burst into tears because we were so close. But we shot ourselves in the foot. There you go, everyone. There's my list of the 20 worst AFL games I've ever been to. I hope you guys enjoyed. And the next video coming up is the 20 best AFL games I've ever been to. As I said, hope you enjoyed, and hopefully you tune in next time.